finally, I got a chance to talk to the hottest people in Canada right now.
Stop talking about me.
Yeah, Joey's just right over there.
Get her in frame then. So you've been training for a week now together, basically. I think just every day.
5 days. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah. 6 days.
Is Matt, are you used to pulling that much? Because everyone knows Devon is used to pulling that. He would pull like he would not rest if needed, you know.
I go in spurts. It's not so much that I'm pulling 5 or 6 days straight, but like I do twice a week, but I hit weights and do exercise and everything else in between to keep myself there. But I'm definitely more inflamed than I've been in a very long time. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. So I wanted to ask, because I believe everyone thinks that like you hate each other. Am I correct? Yeah, you guys hate each other.
Yeah, more now than ever.
Oh,
Yeah. We've Matt and I have known each other a long time.
yeah, it's been over what, 20 years, 21 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, we like it's always we hang out at the events, but you know, we have
When
good
it's game
scraps.
time, right? It doesn't matter really who's standing across the table from here, right?
Yeah.
But what a good guy, huh?
Yeah.
To come out and help me out. Get ready for the big
show
match.
them all my spots for a week for the next time we get a chance at each other.
It was really good for me because it's hard to have somebody who will really keep you honest when you train. Like a lot of times when you're on the table a lot, you're looking at, getting the most out of the practice. So you get used to conceding a lot of things just to make the workout really good. And with Matt, I think we cleaned it up a little bit, got me focused again on where
He's
I really
thick-headed though, right? So you have to tell him about 15 times, at least every 4 hours. It wasn't until about day 5 he's like, you know what, I really think about that, and you're definitely right. So, but
Always.
As bad as he wants to beat Mike, so.
Yeah, you need that critical look at things. You need someone who will say, "Man, that's bullshit," So that's really good. Devon, are you healthy? Because that was the thing that was worrying me with everything. Because I don't know where you at and how do you feel, to be honest.
Well, I wasn't healthy. I wasn't. Probably end of November, beginning of December was probably one of my life's low points for my health. And when I actually got the match offered to me, I was in a pretty bad place physically, and but I really was so like, wow, what a great opportunity. And I actually think, forecasting wise, I think it's going to work out perfect. At the beginning, like when I was offered the match, January time frame, I'm very bad with my memory, but at the beginning, like when I first started to really train for the match, I made a lot of mistakes that I had made over and over and over. You get given a big match, and what do? You get excited, right? You get excited, and you're like, I'm gonna train so hard, and I ended up probably setting myself back just a little bit. I hurt my back, and I think I probably was doing a little bit too much at the beginning, but it didn't take me long to get to a place where I think I'm really on track now. And I think that, with the 7 weeks or whatever we have remaining, I can feel myself coming together. Like I feel myself stronger today than I was even a week ago in terms of the inflammation in my wrist and my elbow. So I think by the time that the match comes, I think I will be perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
Matt, you've been pulling him for 20 years. That, how strong is this Devon? The never stop eating Devon.
He's probably the strongest I felt him, I'd say, ever, just in different, more connection areas, just the protection of certain spots. But he's not the biggest I've seen him.
Not yet.
Not yet, no. But so, like, we've been weighing each other every day, and the biggest he's been thus far was 256, almost 257.
But
So
I think I'll be up to a good weight by the time that the match happens.
yeah, you should get at least 265-ish, I'd say. So like 270. With all the-
Are you not afraid about endurance? Because last time endurance was kind of factor, you know.
You know,
And if you gaining all that weight, it's not kind of helping with it. I know. I really believe you need to be strong for Michael, but will not it cost? You know.
You can only see the looks that Jody's giving Devon right now when you're saying shit like that.
you know, it's difficult to put together and to come up with the right answer. What people saw last time Michael and I fought was me being completely gassed out and out of breath and damn near dead. It's true. But the reason I was like that is because my hand wasn't strong enough. If my hand had been strong enough, endurance would not have been a factor because I would have been in the efficient position. I lost my hand probably about 20 to 25 seconds into round one, which meant I was working way harder than Mike throughout the whole match. So yes, endurance was a factor, but to me, when solving problems, it's really important to look at the first thing that went wrong. And to me, in arm wrestling, it's very hard for me to get to a place where I can say that strength is not the primary issue. So yeah, I'll be maybe a bit fatter than I should be. My cardio might not be as good as it should be, but I'm really prioritizing strength over everything else. And I do a lot. I mean, and I do think that, I mean, I hate to fall back on kind of some of my gifts, but I do think that endurance is something that I kind of naturally have that's kind of okay. I think my main issue is getting my strength high enough. So
Yeah, the only good thing you got going for you is you ain't gonna be walking much while you're competing, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's just this endurance is more what you
Right.
need. At least being going long distances. It's not like a triathlon or anything. So I think if that was the case, you'd be screwed. But
You only have so many, you only have so much energy, you only have so many things you can invest in. And yeah, I'm gonna be a fat pancake eating, slightly cardio depleted, hopefully very strong arm wrestler.
Yeah. From the past, I don't know, 2-3 weeks videos you've been posting, your matches, you look really good. Like endurance has really never been a factor, but now you're even stronger. You're holding guys. Usually you were holding guys in end range position, you know, very old. Like now it's different control. I can see all that power. So I'm not that worried, because when I learned about having you and Mike pulling again, I was like, man, where's Devon's health, and you know, all the levels are. But now I'm not that I know it's gonna be war, but I think you kind of look much more prepared, you know.
I am really doing my absolute best. I have a ton of respect for Michael as an arm wrestler and everything that he brings to the table. And I know that it's a complicated problem to solve. He has his King's move and he has his press. And his ability to dance between those two options makes him very dangerous. So I do believe that both of us have, Michael and I are actually quite similar. It really, I think, will come down to, for me to win, for my victory, I think it will come down to fundamental arm wrestling. Can I outclimb him? Can my shoulder stay relevant in the match? It's I'm so excited. Like, I don't think I've ever been this motivated for a match in some time, in a way that I've really changed a lot of things in my life. I'll talk about more of them later, but there's a lot of changes I've made in my life to get ready for this match. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they pay off.
In my opinion, you were a part of the biggest match in arm wrestling history, you versus Dennis. Do you think this will be bigger? Just because it's a different, like, it's 3 years later, social media has exploded in arm wrestling world. We have so many big names coming in, and I think I kind of feel that more eyes will be on this match than any other match in history. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, this match is going to be a really big match, partially because most large promotions have failed during this time period. So it's really hard for, a WAL or a PAL to organize with the promotion behind it, with the cameras, with the lights, to get everything to where it has that appeal so that it can reach the amount of people. And with the guys, I mean, international travel is a disaster.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big match. And Michael and I, we have a rivalry. There's a lot of arguments why Michael is the #1 guy in the world. So basically you have a world title defense in a time when there's not a lot of action. And I'll say we have leveled up in the world of promotion. We've gone from PAL and WAL, their social media profiles are, a certain size, to now we have the PR lifestyle, Larry Wheels, right? It's basically jumped by a factor of 10. So with that combined with, all the social media, like you said, I mean, our reach should be really, really large on this one.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel that I would love to hear the numbers, from the pay-per-view, but it's very hard. I really don't know PL numbers, and I don't know WL numbers. If we could, to see, because I feel it's gonna be just the biggest thing ever, especially in this time. And like you said, a lot of promotions, they want to do arm wrestling events certain way. And this is a different time. You cannot do it like you used to. You just need to accept it and move forward, in my opinion. And Larry is doing that,
I mean, when I was looking at the future, I really loved in 2017, after we did our last 225-pound class, we knew at that point that the 225-pound class was gone at any kind of meaningful level. Like, yeah, we could do, little tournaments, but the notoriety of being the best 225-pound guy at that point was kind of taken from us.
Well, especially when the weight class was obsolete. Right?
Yeah, and it was at that time I was like, I would love to try one more time to try and be recognized as, as the guy in the super heavyweight division. I would love to try it. And I'll tell you, it's so much harder now. Even the span. So, I mean, arguably, I was that guy from 2008 to 2012 or so. And I personally know that it is not the same world. Like 2008 to 2012, the level was, here. And now the level is here. And I'm not convinced that it's like that in all the weight categories, but I do believe that the super heavyweight division has risen. And since 2017, I've been trying to find a way to that top. And I thought my best chance was if Michael beats Levon. I was like, Michael can beat Levon, and then I can beat Michael. And so, you know, it didn't quite go that way, and now I'm pulling Michael. But yeah, interesting time. Interesting time. Yeah.
I want to ask Matt Mask, like you and Ermes. It's kind of funny watching from outside. Ermes is so, he just cannot let go of that match, you know. But is it because I think yesterday you posted or you made a video, it will be in Turkey, in Istanbul. Is it together with the stuff that Engin is doing, or it's some other promotion?
So June 12th, Istanbul in Turkey. So but
Okay.
Finally, we went back and forth a few times. We finally come up with a good agreement on it. So yeah, we're gonna relive it. So
you know, the first time the match you had, and then the practice footage. Of course, the match is the one that counts. But how did you feel in a
Just said we had a match, and then we had practice.
Practice, yeah. I'm there 100%, man. It's practice, but practice still gives you data. Did it give you some more data? Because the match was so fast that I don't know if you get any data, because you're facing a guy again, and maybe he got more data on you than you did on him. How do you feel?
Maybe he could have, if he feels in any way the data that I gave him when we stepped on the after pull table was what I would do in a real match, then he's oddly mistaken, because when I step up to a practice table, getting what I want for a grip means nothing. I could care less. The only data that I got out of that match, which I had already realized after match number one, was that, okay, he is the real deal. And should he get anything in his power area where he needs to be, there's probably not many people in the world that can pull him out of it. So, but I had realized that as soon as match one had happened. So it wasn't any more data. It was more, I had went up there. I was more so trying to give him an ego boost, like self-confidence, where because of what had happened on the table, and how when I get caught up in the moment, I tend to kind of let stuff go. And I felt somewhat bad as the adrenaline rush and everything else kind of settles down. And I didn't want him thinking that he had absolutely nothing. It was more an ego. Oh, wow, you feel so good. If you watch the video, I'm like, oh, you get that a little bit. He's even like, yeah, I get a little bit, and it's there, right? And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Oh, you feel so good. Oh, wow, yeah, Rashad, I can't move you here, right? Like, so, but that's what I am every single time you get me on practice. So when we get up and it actually matters and it counts, there's a completely different person, as majority of the people have seen what I am like in real person compared to what I compete. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, right? So.
Yeah, for many arm wrestlers, it's that way. The practice is practice. If you approach practice as a practice, you're trying to get some things, you know, you learn, you give up things. And plus, like, for me, it's hard to be serious on after pull table after I just won the match. You know, you just, you know, you're done, job done, you know.
Ego, right? Like when I'm practicing, I have zero fucking ego. Ego doesn't even exist. But when my name gets called to the table, my ego fucking blows right up, right?
And let's just talk about basic arm wrestling etiquette. Like, I think if you universally ask arm wrestlers, if you just won the super match against a guy and he wants to after pull you, I would say that probably 90% of us are probably going to be really nice to the guy who lost. It's probably just how it's going to go. Like, I know if I beat somebody in a match and they want to pull me afterwards, I'll probably be very giving to them. It's just, I think, the way that most people are. You know, like, you don't need to, you just beat them. You don't want to encourage them. You want to build people. That's part of our community. Like, that's what we do.
I may act like an asshole when I'm up on the table, but in real life, I'm not really an asshole. So
Devon,
he's already
is it true?
down here. I'm like, you motherfucker, you never stood a chance. You never stood a fucking chance. Like, it's not how the arm wrestling community is, right? And the ones that are like that, they obviously have been bred in the wrong grounds, because that's not how we are with each other. Like so many people think me and Devon hate each other, but no, that's only when we're facing off
I do
against each
love
other.
it when we hate each other.
So
That is
it
fun.
is. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
fun.
You're a hard guy to hate, but
It is fun when we do it, though.
Yeah. So all that aside, Ermes looks very, very strong and very dedicated. I think he's been on mission, getting really good shape. Again, small practices, we see him versus Vitali, but Vitali is like good. We know how good he is, but again, those are practices. How serious you will take this match, you know? Because I like Ermes will do everything to win, in my opinion. He will be, because he's so you just can see everywhere. He cannot let go, and he looks really good.
honestly, for me, I'm taking this very serious. Like, I haven't, the last year, I've pretty much taken 6 months to a year off of everything. And as soon as I seen that call out, I went over to my gym and I started lifting weights. And it was, okay, we're gonna do this again. I've been looking for motivation in order to give myself that extra push, and he's done it. So it's, yeah, like, I'm scared shitless. Like, I don't doubt for a second, because I have felt him and I know where he's strong in some of the areas, and he's like, he is, his athletic ability is definitely not to be messed with. So his, outside of his athletic ability and his mental, the way he thinks or he expresses, maybe it's just a language barrier and the way he's expressing it, not so much. But his athletic ability, yeah, I'm scared shitless. So I feel like I have way more to lose than what Ermes does. So,
Well, I don't know about that. I feel like he's got more to lose.
well,
I feel like,
I don't know. I feel, well,
after
maybe
everything he's done, like, if he loses again, it's like,
so.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm not even thinking about what I can lose, but where this could put me after this happens, should I come through successful like I did the last time. Like, what I can gain from it will be like, okay, it'll open the eyes up to everybody else out there in the world that's not really sure what to think. Okay, well, obviously practice pulling means fucking nothing, and it doesn't really matter until your names are actually called to the table and there's something on the line. So I'm trying to prove a point on that aspect. And another thing is, there's a lot over in Europe that think that us North Americans don't stand a chance. So I'm not only competing for myself to show that, no, I am on that level. I'm not just because I get the favors and everything else from WL. I'm actually capable of competing no matter what the rules are. I can adapt, especially given the right amount of time. But also for all the other North Americans out here to to show that, yeah, we're on that level. Like, we are there. They're not so much more above all them, and we're not dodging. So,
yeah, I'm very excited for that match. I really don't care that we already saw it happen. I was kind of expecting it would be in Dubai before you announced it. I was thinking, like, we had some conspiracy theories going around and we thought it's going to be on the undercard. But okay, well,
between me and you, I was actually pushing for that. Whatever got talked about behind the scenes, I guess it didn't quite work out. But had I had it my way, I feel that that would have been the best place to do it as an undercard match against Michael and Devon. Just 2 rematches coming back, and then also not just to mention the amount of exposure, like you guys had discussed earlier. There's you do a PAL, you do an Engen, you do a WL. We're gonna hit a couple 100,000 people that are watching the stuff. With Larry Wheels promotion and everything else, there's 2.2 million people that don't even know much about arm wrestling that are going to be tuning in. So just the exposure that I would get, Ermes would get, and the sport itself would get in total, I feel would have been beneficial for everyone.
I think that would make that event bigger. I know some matches that's gonna be there, but I don't know everything there. But yeah, I think it's a little bit, of course, of that language barrier, and he's kind of there is this feeling that that always my side feels they're much more stronger than the other side, and maybe in a lighter weight classes, like not maybe, but I feel lighter weight classes under 100 kilos, that might be true, but with the heavyweights in there, it's an open waters, and it's always been. So it's, yeah, the more we have these clashes, from both sides, a little bit better picture we get from this arm wrestling scene, because it's longer we stay on one side and the other, it's very hard to pinpoint. And this is why guys will come in with false ego, false sense of I'm unbeatable, and they get beat. I was just watching, when I did that video of top 3 moments of Devon, and I'm watching that Andre moment, and Neil calls me, and Neil starts telling me story, like the shit that he went through to make Taras match happen, the all those and all the times people doubted you. That's he said that's kind of amazing that it all went this way. So
I've been very, very lucky, and I've had a lot of people in my corner that have believed in me and helped to get me into all these matches.
Yeah. I want to ask, what happened on that pushcart first round? Were you ready or something? Because I couldn't understand from the video that I saw.
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of videos on the pushcart match, and the thing that normally when people edit arm wrestling matches, they basically show the maybe 2 seconds before they say go, and then they show, and really that's what most people want to see. But what people really need to understand is I won that match in the first 2 setups. So before they said go in round 1, and then before they said go in round 2. Because, and I agree with everything you said in the video, I do think that pushcar evolved into a much higher form. When I arm wrestled pushcar, the way I saw him on video was I saw him as this hard, Ivan Drago kind of
I will
bully.
crush you.
Yeah, and that's what I saw on video. But then when I met him in person, I realized that he was such a young man. He was so young when I arm wrestled him, and I think that his lack of experience is really why I won that. Because one of Andre's characteristics was he was so hard, he was very, very rigid. He was very uncompromising, and what that allowed me to do in the setups was he would just let me work him and work him and work him. And they never really showed that.
Yeah.
But this is why I was able to exhaust him. was because in the setup, he would just stay with me and stay with me and stay with me, no matter what I did. And in round one, I actually didn't think that I actually touched. That's what I was complaining about. I knew it was super low, but I actually thought that I was like half a centimeter from the pin pad. I didn't think I actually got pinned. So that's what that little complaint was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because those moments, I just, someone asked a question and I had to relive them. And I remember for the first time I saw the you versus Taras match. Just I was very young in arms. I think it was maybe 2009 or 10, something like that. And I thought, how is this possible? You basically just catch them in a position that no one arm wrestles, and I'm like, how is this possible? And then
Before that, I think it was 2007.
2006, yeah, but I saw it.
Oh,
years
right.
later. Yeah, I saw it years later. Yeah, in 2006, I didn't know arm wrestling existed, to be honest. So that's awesome. Are you going to Dubai faster to to get some jet lag away, or?
I think that right now they have us leaving our countries on the 20th. The 20th of May when we leave. So we'll be hopefully in country for about a week before the event.
Okay.
So that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's great for me. That means I'll just be walking around and stretching and eating, and it should be totally good by the time the fight rolls around.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go there maybe sometime next week or something in between.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at the weather and it's plus 40 degrees Celsius, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. So hot.
You can't even go out during the day.
Yeah, stay in. But yeah,
just get Larry. The only thing I still see with Larry a little bit is he still kind of holds on to people sometimes.
Yep. Yep.
I think he just really needs to fully embrace that strap mentality where he's not going to be the guy who compromises and,
Yeah.
Even if he wants to hook, doesn't matter. Just get in the strap.
It's much more whoever he is facing, and then I cannot say who he's facing, but the first thing we're gonna learn and work hard is how to slip, how to get the strap, because he's much more better in strap. The hand is huge, and I really feel he leveled up, in past 2 months. He just watch some videos and he looks like an arm wrestler. When arm wrestler stands on table and when a bodybuilder stands on table, there's two different things, like day and night. So he's a little bit, not little, but leaning more to our side now. So I'm happy with that.
It's so awesome to watch because it's only been like a year, not even.
Yeah.
And I'd say now he's awesome. Like I think he's legit really, like I think if he went to a tournament anywhere where it's not like, top 8 or like the top of the pro level, like people got to be careful with Larry now. I don't think anybody's going to take Larry lightly now.
Yeah. You need to beat him now. Like, his left arm was really strong, and I feel like it looks stronger than it was. It's to beat him, you need to be smart arm wrestler if you're weaker than him, because like he's leveling up so fast that most likely you are weaker. But if you are smarter, you can still, and it comes with experience. And his following kind of at the start, I believe they didn't understand. They just thought like he would just come and crush everyone at arm wrestling. And it's a fight, it's a skill, it's a combat. You learn the moves, you learn how to move. It happens slow, a year or two, especially when you have so much baggage and so much different movements already in you that are countering what you're trying to do now. But yeah.
The thing is he's 26, right?
Yeah.
He can be world level bodybuilder, world level power lifter, strongman, wrestling. He'd probably get into MMA after this.
Yeah, at some point he will start smashing heads for sure. Yeah, I kind of feel it that way. It's like for him, it's a game. He wins the game. He's like, what's next? You know. So he is the best thing that happened to arm wrestling because he fully embraced it. It's not like Juji Mufu did his part so much. You know, we had so much people coming from him. But Larry just embraced it. He embraced the suck, you know, when you suck at arm wrestling, when you just lose, and that's just, you know, really great. I'm like, we had this talk. Now it's a year ago in Norway, where I said, like, I feel this is the best time in arm wrestling. You said, yeah, I feel it. I'm like, even though we're not arm wrestling right now, I feel this is the best time for arm wrestling ever. You know,
A lot of good stuff.
a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
It's still growing. Still growing.
Yeah, I don't like. We're not seeing it ending.
You know how like mushrooms, you know, you only really see them when they pop up from the ground, but the mushroom is growing.
Yeah,
It's growing underneath the ground,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys still have you're training today, or what you have in mind to do?
We're pretty much done training now. We did some training this morning, some physio recovery stuff.
Okay.
And then we're flying out in the next couple hours. So
Yeah. It's much the end. This is the
Yeah.
last thing, right?
this is
Oh,
it.
that's good that I got you, man. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of both of you. I really love aggressive style arm wrestling, beautiful top rolls that you provide, Matt, and of course, like Devon, I really mean what I said when I said you're unorthodox in arm wrestling, and if you would never say anything, people just would stop and watch you, you know. And there's no other arm wrestler like that, like really no other arm wrestler like that people just would stop and watch, and you know. So yeah, thank you.
I think it's hair. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think you need to lose it.
Yeah, come on. Let me. You know what? You're in with like 95% of the people, but I'm holding on for those 5%.
Okay.
Just a little bit more. Jody loves it. I would if Jody would tell me to cut it, I would, but she loves it. so
Got
much.
it.
Cut. Exactly. Okay, guys, I really appreciate it. I don't want to take any more of your time. We'll talk soon, and I will see you soon, guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Ray. All the best. Love your channel, buddy. I
Yeah,
love everything
awesome
you
job,
do. You got the most professional, the way you edit, the way you see the sport, the way you coach people. Everything is so concise and so clear. I think that anybody who wants to learn arm wrestling should start with you. So I think you're great at what you do, buddy.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, guys. Bye.